Digimon Story Time Stranger releases this year, and I know there's another video you're looking forward to me from Digimon Story Time Stranger, but as is evidenced by this video, it's going to need some more time to cook. The thing you might not know if you're not active on the artist formerly known as Twitter is that they're actually posting regular twice or 3 time weekly updates on this game despite not giving us a release date yet. And a lot of these are not things we already knew. Pretty much all of them are new information on the game. So on today's video, I'm going to deep dive into those posts because I think it's important that people get access to things even if they're only on one social media for some reason, and dive into what some of this news might mean for Digimon Story Time Stranger because this game's getting pretty hype. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another Digimon Story Time Stranger video. It feels good to talk about Digimon products actively again. We only have to wait till October for Digimon Beat Break, a brand new anime. It's crazy. So yes, Digimon Story Time Stranger releases this year. If you want to know more information on that, I have got several videos on Time Stranger, a whole playlist I would recommend checking out for basically every piece of information we know on the game. However, specifically just on X or Twitter, Digimon Games has been sharing a lot of information that they've just not been sharing to their other channels like YouTube. On Instagram, there is no Digimon Games account, so sometimes the Bandai Namco accounts are posting the updates, but not all of them and not on all of their socials. They might be putting them on Facebook, but who's using Facebook anymore? It's a real shame because these things are really important and I do think they could be doing a lot better at communicating them to fans outside of that social media network. But I will take it upon myself as one of the Digimon guys on YouTube to bring that information to you and deep dive into it a little bit more. So this all kind of began at the start of April with them doing a bit of a piece on Central Town in Digital World Iliad. Central Town, the town in the Digital World Iliad, home to countless Digimon, trendy hangout venues, and a number of shops that the main characters will utilize on their adventures. This is where Digimon live out their lives. And this is pretty interesting information. While we did know most of this from the reveal trailer and then Digimon Con, it's nice to get some confirmation that this is kind of our hub world in the digital world, our file city, if you will, and that there will be things like shops and things to interact with in Central Town. Plus, it just gave us a little bit of a refresher on some Digimon that are confirmed to be in the game. But then came a little bit more than reconfirmation of Digimon in the game because they gave a dedicated post confirming that Medieval Gallantmon would be in the game. Now, if you're not familiar with Medieval Gallantmon, he is, as his name implies, a medieval version of the already, I guess, kind of medieval Gallantmon or Jukemon in Japan. This is a big debut for Medieval Gallantmon. While he has been in things like Digimon Masters Online and Digimon New Century, the Chinese exclusive mobile game, he's not appeared in a mainline story game outside of medals in the Cyber Sleuth collection. He's also a pretty interesting Digimon because he is related to Witchelny, the world of magical witches, the other VPET Bandai produced in the 90s, aside from Tamagotchi and Digimon and some others, which has a very big focus on, as the name implies, witches and elementals. Other Digimon connected to this are Hexablaumon, which also spends time in Witchelny, and even very recent Digimon like Zephargamon from Digimon Liberator, who has the Baluluna symbol on its chest in its Ace mode. I don't think we're likely to see Zephargamon in this game, but Medieval Gallantmon does give me some hope we might see Hexablaumon and its evolution line. It's also very clearly this post Bandai Namco saying, look, we get it. There were a lot of Digimon that were medals in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. We want to make sure you know that we are committed to adding Digimon that are both requested and kind of sequestered away to things like medals or Chinese exclusive mobile games. It's a great look. Even though we might not see Digimon from Digimon Liberator, it's at least a Digimon that is a partner kind of in Digimon Liberator, and as Muchomon is already confirmed, I'd like to see a Muchomon become Medieval Gallantmon in this game. Then we got another location reconfirmation of Shinjuku and Akihabara, showing off the NPCs, which I'm still not in love with, but I'll get used to it, and reconfirmation that after a catastrophic event occurs here, the player is thrown through time and space. Time and space. We then got another Digimon confirmation in Mojiamon, a champion rare animal vaccine attribute, and his model looks great. We've also really not seen Mojiamon in 3D in Digimon games outside of New Century and Super Rumble, both of which are kind of location locked right now. Mojiamon was also a medal in the Cyber Sleuth games and was only a card in Digimon World Next Order. Really, its most prominent outings were in Digimon World Redigitized Decode and Digimon Adventure PSP, though it did show up a lot more in the 2D games, and I think that's another theme. Digimon that were in 2D games or were popular but have yet to have a really big prominent 3D outing, and Mojiamon also shows us they're really working on hair textures in this game. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a little bit, but hair textures, hair modeling I think is a very big priority for them in this game. Next up, we got confirmation of a returning Digimon, Belphemon Rage Mode, the Mega Evil King virus attribute and member of the 7 Great Demon Lords. What this also showed off is that Belphemon Rage Mode is getting one of its other signature moves in this game, this time using its Lamphanthus attack instead of Gift of Dark, Darkness, or maybe alongside Gift of Darkness. It's also interesting they call him an evil king and not a demon lord, so given the fact we already know that Lucemon Fall Down Mode and Bearmon are in this game, the other demon lords are very likely to follow. He's also now a Mega in this game, whereas he was an Ultra level in Cyber Sleuth, but when you look at the Cyber Sleuth 3D model and the Time Stranger 3D model, even with the awful Twitter video encoding, Bearmon Rage Mode in Cyber Sleuth looks so smoothed over in comparison. It really is great to see Bearmon be much more furry. Not like that. While all the Olympus 12 have been confirmed to be in this game, they did also show off that Marukimon, or Mercurymon, is going to be a prominent NPC in this game, with the attribute of Virus, the type of deity, and the level of Mega. Mega Deity Digimon as the ruler of Central Town. He requests the protagonist to conduct an investigation into Central Tower. And Central Tower is going to be important because Patron, the Titan Strange Bird, a powerful ultimate Digimon who uses lightning to attack Central Tower in the city. Yeah, it's very clear that this Patron is on Central Tower, as they indicate, the tower at the top of Central Town. And I think it's really cool that they're making Patron probably the first boss we're going to fight in this game, as an homage to that original Digimon Adventure movie where Patron fought Greymon. We've also seen Agumon in the trailers as a recruitable Digimon. You tend to be able to get Koromon pretty early in these games, so it'll be very cool to recreate the Greymon versus Patron fight as our first boss fight in this game, or we can just use any Digimon we've also got, you know? Some people have been talking about whether Titan Strange Bird is a mistranslation or not, and not really. Typically, Patron is giant bird type. However, the Titans, of course, are a thing in Greek myth. Thanks to Ravelmonte, he posted that they are also a thing in Digimon media, with the Titan tribe being featured in Digimon Crusader. Other Digimon called Titan tribe in Crusader were Hippogriffamon and Griffamon, but some other members may be Goblimon and Ogremon, Skullbaluchimon and Minotaurmon. A lot of these making sense for Greek myth theming. Goblimon and Ogremon being Titamon pre-evolutions, Hippogriffamon and Griffamon coming from the Hippogriff and Griffin of Greek myth, Minotaurmon coming from the Minotaur, and Skullbalukimon I'm not quite sure. Someone let me know in the comments below. So I think it's likely that the bosses we encounter in this game are going to be the Titans attempting to overthrow the Greek gods, aka the Olympus 12. Now, some have questioned whether boss Digimon are going to be recruitable. I just don't see why not. Not specifically that boss Digimon. We're not going to defeat Patron who's going to join our side or anything, but I do think it's quite likely that if they're going to go to the trouble of programming in an entire Digimon's model, you're going to be able to throw it into the Digivolution line of one of the Digimon you capture in the game. Future Karn jumping in here because it seems, yes, I was on the money, as this week on Tuesday they confirmed that Eaglemon, or Crossmon to you sub-purists, is going to be in the game as a obtainable Digivolvable Digimon, a mega gigantic bird vaccine Digimon, and Eaglemon's Digimon reference book listing does outright state, although its origins are unclear, some speculate that Eaglemon is the Digivolution of Parrotmon. Them announcing Parrotmon as a boss one week and Eaglemon as a obtainable Digimon the other, I think pretty much confirms that Parrotmon is going to be an obtainable Digimon too. Eaglemon is also another Medal Digimon from Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory that has been freed from Medal Jail, and has actually been around since the year 2000. I've seen a lot of people surprised thinking this was quite a recent Digimon, but no, it is on the D-Terminal toy. You can check out Eaglemon on that device, as I have done myself. It's a really nice addition to the game, but also because it is an older Digimon, that doesn't confirm that more recent Digimon are going to be in the game. Some people thought that Crossmon actually debuted in Digimon Adventure 2020, meaning that anything from 2020 onwards is viable, but no, sadly this Digimon is very old at this point. We also got a look at the Bearmon Brothers. This was initially leaked on Sunday, Easter Sunday, in VJump, but then they confirmed in a post on Monday, which I think is fantastic. Sometimes this VJump information can either be information that we already knew for months, or if something is in VJump, we just don't find out about it through official channels for ages. But they really confirmed that post next day, which I think is really good going and gives me a lot of faith for this game. The marketing so far is leagues ahead, and we don't even have a release date yet. The Bearmon Brothers, attribute vaccine, type beast, and level rookie. Playful brothers in Central Town. A fearless older brother and a timid younger brother. Watch as this odd duo creates an unforgettable story. And yeah, as you can see, there are the two Bearmon brothers. The timid one has a very different facial expression to his fearless brother, and their fur is actually different colors, with the timid one being more light and the fearless one being darker. It even looks like the fearless one may have a looser belt around him, but it's hard to tell because they're in different poses. This is great. We know, as I talked about in a video the other week, that Bearmon was intended at one point to be in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, but was cut at the last minute, as was Skullbalukimon and Chimeramon. The Bearmon brothers being in this game adds huge credence to the idea, in addition to the fact that Skullbalukimon was related to the Titans in Digimon Crusader, that we're going to see all three of those Digimon in this game. I mean, we've already got Millenniumon confirmed, so Chimeramon feels very likely. And I do think we are going to be able to capture Digimon that will eventually digivolve to Bearmon in this game too. They won't just be NPCs. As far as their story goes though, really I don't know. I can see this kind of being like an an Agumon and Gabumon situation from Cyber Sleuth where they didn't know their purpose, but it turns out they're supposed to become Omnimon the Royal Knight. I've seen people say that maybe one of the Bearmon is going to become Marsmon of the Olympos 12. If I were to bet, I think it's going to be the timid one, not the fearless one. Maybe even the fearless one dying, becoming something like Grapleomon or something like that. However, something I haven't seen people talking about is the last time we saw Bearmon in a prominent 3D outing, not something that's exclusive to one country, was in Digimon Eirias. And that Bearmon became Grismon and then Cerberusmon. And that's incredibly interesting to me because of course Cerberus is from Greek myth. This leads me to think of two possible things that could happen for one of these Bearmon, and I think it might be the timid one. Let's say the fearless one becomes Marsmon and then dies in battle or something. What if his little brother has the potential to become Grismon and then Cerberusmon, maybe even werewolf mode? But two megas would be incredibly appropriate here for a timid Digimon who suddenly goes psycho over his loss, or any other reason. First of all would be Plutomon, an antagonist to the Olympos 12. Imagine one Bearmon becoming a member of the Olympos 12 and Plutomon becoming, well, sort of an enemy. I think this game might take the opportunity to reflect Greek myth and Roman myth and not have Plutomon become an evil Digimon, but instead stand side by side with the Olympos 12. And of course, Cerberusmon digivolving into Plutomon is a very common evolution branch. Especially werewolf mode, you can see how the design of that Digimon factors straight into Plutomon. Plus, as I have said time and time again, Habu likes to reference stuff or bring things forward from previous projects, and Plutomon had a pretty prominent outing in Digimon Survive. However, there is another dark mega Digimon related to Bearmon that has Greek myth theming. Yes, Kalismon from Digimon V-Tamer. Recently given full art and a Digimon reference book listing, appearing on the Digimon Pendulum Color and the current Digimon card game, and its name Kalismon comes from Callisto, a character in Greek mythology, who was transformed into a bear by the goddess Hera as an act of vengeance and eventually became the constellation Ursa Major, the Big Bear. Big Brother Bear. Specifically, Callisto and her son set among the stars as Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. You could consider the fearless brother to be the big brother, Ursa Major, and the timid brother to be the smaller bear, Ursa Minor. I do not think that's a coincidence. And who is the Roman equivalent of Hera, who defeated Callisto as an act of vengeance? Perhaps hysterical vengeance? Yes, Juno. Not that Juno. Junomon, who some people suspect, and I do kind of agree, I think it's likely, that Inori in this game, the partner of Ageomon, may turn out to be Junomon. Imagine if it is so intrinsically linked that these cute little Bearmon brothers, their tragedy is that one of them becomes Kalismon, the evil Bearmon Mega, and is slain by the Olympos 12, Junomon. It'd be pretty cool, man, I'm just saying. Also, as an aside, now that Bearmon is confirmed, and the starters that we got in Digimon World 2, plus the whole Olympos 12 revisit, which was first kind of done in Digimon Crusader, this game is starting to feel like we were visiting old titles in new ways, which makes me think if we got Bearmon confirmed, maybe we're going to get Kotemon and Monmon confirmed too. Bring back their evolutions from Digimon World 3, as Dinohumon is already confirmed to be in the game. Something to think about. And finally, this week it was revealed that Nefertimon is coming to Digimon Story Time Stranger. The armor level Holy Beast with a free attribute, all pretty standard. Great to see Nefertimon in a 3D game, and with Pegasusmon already confirmed to be in the game, we can see it in Central Town. That means that two armors from Digimon Adventure 02 are confirmed to be in the game. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory had Flamedramon, Magnamon, and Rapidmon armor. I feel like it's very likely those three are going to be brought forward into Time Stranger, which means we now have 5 armor Digimon from Digimon Adventure 02. This feels like a very obvious wink to indicate that all of the Digimon Adventure 02 armors are going to be in this game. I wouldn't necessarily expect to see non-show armors like Bullmon or Swanmon. I probably wouldn't even expect to see Poochimon, but I think we are going to see Digmon, Submarimon, Halsamon, Shurimon, and hopefully, finally, Raidramon in this game. Alright, that is it. Your news update and some theories about Digimon Story Time Stranger. Like I say, this news is much bigger than you might have initially thought. Thank you to my sovereigns, EDK14, everyone else who supports me over on patreon.com/Karn EX, as well as my channel members here on YouTube. I appreciate you all very much. I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye-bye.